complaints. We'll formalise that, and we're putting it online, so it's going to happen. When we get that up and cranky, and we get some money to actually, crank that up and advertise it and tell people that it's actually there, an easy way for them to disclose. We predict huge results for that. It's the budget, counselling and support. We talked about all of that. 24/7 support line is what we're going to be getting, which is just fantastic. Because I know from my personal experience, if you've got your child, there's nothing more important than your children, and I know I'm speaking for everyone who has children, almost everyone. If something terrible happens to them, you need answers, and you need them now, and you're not waiting for a week, as some people had to wait even for us to come back to them. In fact, I've just given the nod to put on an extra counsellor to answer those phone calls, even though we don't have the funds for it. And I will pay for it out of my own wages if I have to, but we're not going to leave people waiting for an answer on them. It's just, what happens when your child is sexually assaulted, what you do instantly, those first things that you do will set the path for the future of the child's health, mental health, emotional health, psychological health, and the family's stickability as well. It's so critical that in that first day, that first week, that you get it right, That's why I'm so passionate about that. And yeah, so that's it. I should probably stop talking. I don't know how long I've talked for, but I'm renowned for talking too long.
We were watching.
We all right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Has anyone got any questions?
About the paddle across the paddle? Yeah.
Yes. Hard work.
Hard work.
Hard work. Yeah, they've been training. My husband's just turned 50, and his gift in turning 50 was to begin training. So they began training in November last year. I said to him, you should do this. You should do this, because he's strong. He's a big, strong man, very fit. And he said, yeah, all right, I will. And then I went, maybe you shouldn't. So I'm trying to back off. But by then he was committed. So yeah, so he started training in November. They took off. It was a 9-day trek. It was pretty. They had a great time the first bit of it. Then that big cold front was coming through, and I just saw that coming off straight off the Antarctica. And Ian said they were paddling away quite happily. Happily. He said it was like a war zone every night. They had a doctor with them. There was bandages on everyone's hands and injections in the butt, pills for this and pills for that. It's hard work. There was no picnic, but I mean that's what they enjoy. Go figure. But anyway, the last couple of days, however, were very different. I think they were doing really, easy, small swell seas, about 1.5 metre swells, little wind, bit of 20 knots wind or something, and then it whipped up to, what did you say, it's 100-something km/h winds and swells like that. So they had to take refuge on a little rock in the middle of the Bass Strait, which didn't work. In the end, they had to get on the boat, which was the last resort. They weren't supposed to be on the support boat, but they had to. They had nowhere else to be. The winds and the seas just blew up. So that means, and the worst of it was going to come on the Friday, and this was the Wednesday. So they got back in their boats and they paddled in these seas. They got back a day early, but I saw them at the Mercure. I met them in Tasmania. I was in Canberra, so we met at the motel. Beat him by half an hour, and he walked in and he looked just awful. He had a big beanie on and a big, growth, and he looked like a fisherman, like he'd been on a fishing boat for a month, Ugh. And they all looked like that, and they were really tired, and they were sore and calluses on their hands, but they all had huge, big smiles on their face because they'd done it. Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. 260,000 they raised. So that was a good effort. Yeah.
The Queensland Blue Card system, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Are they likely to spread it across the rest of the country?
They do. It is in most of the country, but it's not.